Bless her heart. Okay, we'll get right to it. We're at public, well, first we're going to add, we've agreed in work session to add 2 agenda items under other business. Correct?
Yes.
One is the sale of 2.53 acres at $633,690, authorize the signing by the clerk and the supervisor contingent upon attorney approval, and to approve the collecting bargaining agreement between the TPOAM for the years 22 through 24 and authorize the signing. So we're adding those under other business. Did I say Aldi? I don't know if I did. Okay. And we're at public comment now. So if residents would like to, or people would like to make a public comment, you have 3 minutes. Please state your name and if you're a township resident or not.
My name is Arloa Kaiser, and I am a township resident. And I am here again about Peace Neighborhood in Ann Arbor taking over St. Mark's Lutheran Church. They still have not bought it, the last I knew, and I'm sure they're waiting till the end of the year because of taxes or whatever. Anyway, I still would encourage anyone and everyone to talk to Peace Neighborhood about keeping Auntie Yvonne's community free store in the building, which used to be St. Mark's Lutheran Church on South Harris Street. It is a great thing for our community. Everything is free. Everything is donated. They have children's things. They have wheelchairs. They've had furniture, clothing, and I don't know any place that you can go to get clothing if needed inexpensive. Salvation Army, Goodwill, and all those places are ridiculously high, and that's all donated stuff. And Annie Yvonne's is free. So please, everyone, I don't know who you can talk to, call Peace Neighborhood and tell them that you still want her there, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kaiser. Are there any other public comments?
Hi, my name is Monica Cross-Williams, 2150 Chevrolet. I am not aware if the board is aware that on November 1st, the Sheriff of Washtenaw County, Jerry Clayton, issued out a press release. In his press release, he basically stated some things about individuals having loud mouths and that their comments were irrelevant. He stated some other things in the press release as well, but those were 2 things that stuck out to me about the issue that has been going on with the $1.2 million as it relates to the county. First things first is, at the last meeting, a resident stated how crime is increasing in that neighborhood. According to the statistical numbers, crime has increased across Ypsilanti Township as well. Now, I don't know, I haven't been on the board since 2020, but in the same aspect, I know when I was on the board, we allocated 37 deputies for Ypsilanti Township. It started at, it was 31, then it went to 34, and then 37. I know in that time period, the Sheriff of Washtenaw County has not managed to fill all the positions during the 4 years I was on the board as well. So it's kind of ironic that he is now telling citizens to shut up and not talk. That is just ridiculous to me. I think the sheriff has forgotten that he gets paid by the taxpayers of Ypsilanti Township. Ypsilanti Township contributes about $8 million to his budget, 8 to 10 when I was on the board. And he also forgot that citizens have a right to do grievances against their government. He is a governmental entity, and it is a free speech argument. Considering that this is now the sheriff's behavior, and I'm assuming this is the behavior of the entire department, you know, it may be some good deputies, but the leadership at the top is questionable. It is now, in my opinion, time for Ypsilanti Township to reevaluate their contractual agreements with the Washtenaw County Sheriff. If this is how it is, that sheriff's department is going to treat citizens because they are questioning a decision that it's actually not his decision, it's the decision of the Washtenaw Washtenaw County Board of Commissioners. So basically, why is he even talking about it, honestly? And that makes the question on to why is he talking about it, and why did he issue a press release against citizens, which is what he did. So I hope there would be a consideration of the board to really look at contracts, because I know that contract with Ypsilanti Township is a buck of the money with Washtenaw County Sheriff. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. Are there any other public comment? I just want to publicly say that Clerk Gerald Rowe and her staff just did an amazing job on Election Day. It was the teamwork that occurred, and there were the way the residents were served, and I know some of us assisted as well, but it really, I just want to say hats off to Heather and her crew, because they did a great job. So I wanted to publicly say it. So we can go to the consent agenda. We have minutes of the November 1st work session, regular meeting, and statements and checks, as well as a treasurer's report.
So moved.
Support.
Motion Eldridge, support Rowe. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Attorney Winters, is there any legal update?
Just one update. The Galt Village continues to go forward in a positive way in terms of the township making good on the order to have that property demolished. We expect to have bids, a recommendation to select a demolition contractor at the meeting on December the 6th. Since the last court hearing, we were able to obtain $39,000 in grants to go forward with doing the hazardous environmental assessment of the properties over there. And so it's moving in the right direction in terms of having a contract in place before the end of this year in regards to the demolition. So again, we go back to court, I think, in a few more weeks. But during this interim time period, we are gathering additional data in regards to the historical, environmental conditions of the property. The $20,000 came from the Washtenaw County Brownfield Redevelopment Authority. $19,000 came from Washtenaw County. $20,000 came from the Downriver Brownfield Redevelopment Authority. So that will help get things started right now in regards to doing the environmental assessment. But it's going in the right direction. That's all for that.
It's just a quick question. So if the determination is that, because I believe before it was determined that if the soil is contaminated, it would have to be decontaminated, which involves going through different layers, through multiple layers. So if the analysis has determined it to not be as contaminated, then, and I know there's no plan for anything, but I guess my question is, if it's determined not to be that way, would any building or other use of the land be used, or is the idea to use the land for building, say, or it hasn't been proposed yet?
Well, it's not our property, so we don't own it. We're just going to do what the property owner refuses to do, and that is to demolish buildings that have been deemed to be dangerous by 3 circuit court judges. So once the buildings are demolished, it'll be up to the property owner to have the property developed in accordance with our zoning master plan. But right now, those buildings cannot remain standing as they currently are for all the reasons we all know. So just the idea of getting a historical database in place for the area, is a positive, for the site, is a positive step in the demolition process. So the fact that we're getting those grants is a good thing, but the goal remains to demolish that building and to have it down in 2023.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm glad we're proceeding, and I know that the residents in the neighborhood are going to be very happy, and the whole community will, when that public nuisance has been demolished and then redeveloped at the same time. We have new business. We have the request to approve the proposal from JFR Architects for Step 2 of the Civic Center Safety and Security Upgrade Project in the amount of $119,631.
So move, Peterson.
Support. Good evening, Mike Hoffmeister, Residential Services Director. As you know, previously we went out to bid for an architecture and engineering firm to help us study our facility, safety, et cetera. We've gone through that study. There was a presentation to this board a while ago in regards to that with a variety of options. After discussing internally in a number of meetings, we felt the priorities for this project should be a renovation of the IT office, safety modifications and improvements, this boardroom, safety, security, and ADA modifications and improvements, and the Civic Center service counter, safety and security modifications. So the proposal in front of you was a part of their original bid and will include design, engineering, bid assistance, and construction engineering at the point at which we get there. So this is the first step in making our safety and security improvements to this building.
Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in support.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I don't know, something's wrong.
Good.
Number 2 is budget amendment number 15. Clerk Rowe.
I have a motion to amend the 2022 budget amendment number 15. I would move to increase the general fund budget by $655,426 to $11,827,500. I'm doing the same thing. Hold on, restart it. $11,827,531 and approve the line item changes as outlined. Move to increase the building fund budget by $9,066 to $981,188 and approve the line item changes as outlined. And move to increase the motor pool fund budget by $8,000 to $387,741 and approve the line item changes as outlined. I would so move the budget amendment.
We have a motion and support. Questions or comments? For the general fund, it was for legal services, for meetings, contract review, negotiations, and other township business. We also had increased domestic violence. And then we also had increase for padlock statute and vacant abandoned properties. The increase for parks and grounds was due to a roofing overlay that's going to be on this agenda, as well as a community center roof ladder, which is on this agenda, and professional services for design contract documents and construction phase work to modernize the Civic Center. The building fund increases professional services for the review of Eagle Crest Golf Course additions, which was sent out to a third party, and so it's a pass-through cost. And the motor pool was for the allocations of funds for fuel and oil, which increased substantially this year. We have a motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Under authorization and bids, we have the request to award the low bid for the Parks and Grounds garage roofing overlay to CEI Michigan in the amount of $175,845, which is budgeted.
So move.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Is this contingent upon attorney's review?
It is, yes. If you remember, the Board of Trustees allowed us to go out to bid to overlay that particular facility due to a bat issue that we've been having out there. This will overlay the existing roof as well as seal everything up.
So contingent upon attorney review
Yes.
is also part of that motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 2 is a request to award the bid for the community center roof safety project to CNI in the amount of $75,650, which is budgeted as well.
So move.
Motion Rowe, support Eldridge.
This project is assisting us with adding anchors, tie-off anchors to our roof, knee brace platforms, rooftop platforms, and a stiffened ladder to assist our staff as well as our HVAC and any roofing companies that need to access our roof at the community center.
Questions or comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Under other business, we have the motion to approve the sale of 2.53 acres in the amount of $633,690 to, can I say it?
You want me to? I'll make a motion to approve the proposed real estate purchase agreement between Ypsilanti Township and Aldi Incorporated for 2.53 acres, portion of the Seaver Farms property for the price of $633,690, and to authorize Supervisor Summo and Clerk Gerald Rowe to sign once approved by attorney owners.
Support Peterson.
We have a motion by Rowe, support by Peterson to approve the sale of an Aldi's coming into the township on Huron Street, contingent upon the approval. I know, we are so excited, but we're trying to be like,
Trying to downplay it. I
yeah.
was so excited I did it early.
And I just want to say too, is like Jason, the planning director, and Doug spent a lot of time negotiating this, and they saw the light when they kind of underbid and disrespected, the township, and we have the amount that we're going to sell it for, and they agreed to it. So, I mean, I do think it's important to show our appreciation for the people who actually negotiated. We don't have a broker. They do. Am I talking too much to them? Sometimes I violate attorney-client privilege. I don't mean to do that, but one of their proposals was for the township to pay for their broker, and no, we're not, doing that. So I just really appreciate the aggressive stance on behalf of our taxpayers, because this is a taxpayer land. It's not township land, and we should get the appraisal price for it, just like every other business does. And we've talked about possibly using funds to invest in Ecorse Road and Michigan Avenue and Holmes Road in order to help those commercial corridors. So, it's going to, hopefully this sparks many sales on this land that we can reinvest back into the areas of the township and get that same kind of robust reinvestment and into the other areas of the township. So this is very exciting, and I know you're not supposed to get too excited, but we are excited because Aldi wants to be here and we want them here, is the way we look at it. So they're good jobs and it's a good business, and thank you to everyone that was involved with it. So we have a motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, right? The next item is the approval of the collective bargaining unit between the TPOAM for the years 22 through 24, and authorize the signing of that.
I'd make a motion to approve the collective bargaining agreement between TPOAM and the Board of Trustees for the years 2022 through 2024.
Support.
We have a motion by Gerald Rowe, supported by State Rep Trustee, soon to be State Representative. Congratulations, by the way. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're going to adjourn and not do board member updates, is that correct?
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Madam Chair, I do apologize. I thought
Thank you.